This is Robert from the Open Eye, and in this video I'm going to talk about why people do not believe in magic and how that can get in the way of people who are practicing magic. And the reason why people don't think magic is real is because magic is irrational. It doesn't make any sense. And our minds are programmed to make sense of the world around us. And when something doesn't make sense, our mind just makes something up and forces it to make some sort of sense. And that's why people don't see magic when it works. You only realize magic works when you've obtained the thing that you were going for when you were doing your magic. And I'll give you some examples. Many years ago, I noticed that in my normal 9 to 5 job, there was never a conversation about baseball. And I'm a huge baseball fan. I love my Dodgers, and nobody ever talked about baseball. So I decided I was going to do a spell so that I would have a conversation about baseball at work. So I did the spell, and I came back from a meeting and somebody was moving into an empty office in my building, and I walked by and I introduced myself and realized I knew the fellow through email, but I never actually met him. And as I was talking, he was hanging up a San Francisco Giants pennant on his wall, and I made a joke that he's not allowed to be in his building because he's a Giants fan and I'm a Dodger fan. And then we talked about baseball for a while, and then I put my stuff away and I went to lunch. When I came back from lunch, he was taking the Giants banner off the wall because he was told to move into the wrong building. And so he packed up his stuff and left. And I've never been in the same building with the man again. To the outside world, that looks like a total coincidence. The place that I worked for at the time was rather disorganized. It was very confusing. There was budget crises going on. So it makes sense that as people were trying to put out one fire after another, somebody would make that kind of mistake. But it happened a day or two after I did my magic to force a conversation on baseball. So the mind will rationalize that as coincidence, a coincidence that makes sense given the environment that I was in, and the magical mind will say, "Oh, that was created by my spell." Another example I have is I know a fellow who is really good at being unseen. And by that I don't mean invisible, I mean that he can walk into a room and people don't know he's there. And he does it on purpose because he thinks it's fun. And he tells a story about walking into his boss's office when his boss was literally looking out his office door and couldn't possibly miss him. And he sits down and just stares at his boss, and his boss is just staring at his door, and eventually my friend clears his throat and the boss kind of jumps and says, "Oh, I didn't see you come in. I must have been reading my email." Right? He wasn't reading his email, but his mind had to make sense of what just happened. So that's why folks think that magic doesn't work, is because our mind immediately rationalizes it. And this is a big problem for the beginning magician or witch, is because when your magic works, it's really easy to put it off as coincidence. Your friends will put it off as coincidence because you can't possibly have the power to change the world around you, right? Wrong. There's no such thing as a coincidence in magic. So when you do magic and the thing that you want to have happened, it happened because of your magic. That's the way it works. So when you do magic and you catch yourself rationalizing your results, you will also catch yourself disbelieving in your own magic. The more you disbelieve in your own magic, the less magic you're able to do. So be careful of rationalization, enjoy a little bit of the irrational world, and have fun doing your magic. So this is Robert at the Open Eye. I hope you come in and ask any questions you may have, or just come and visit. Have a great day.